Okay, hello, this is my review of the RWBY DC crossover movies with the overly long name. This is part one. Okay, let's start. I enjoyed this movie. It was directed by Kerry Shawcross and written by Megan Fitzmartin, a writer that has worked on DC Comics books and shows before. This movie is a fun time and worth watching, though it takes a while to get going. The action is smooth and it was actually jarring at times to see because of how choppy the show proper can be sometimes. We know that the animators were crunched back in the day, but I'm not really, just like the show came out like that and the movie looks cool. Hopefully when they do make volume 10 they take more of an approach like the movie. This was a joke I wasn't sure was funny or not, but I'm going to say it anyway because I thought it was hilarious at times. Warner Animation really cooked with this movie. If they worked on this franchise again, never mind. Hold on, there's a lot of papers here. Turn this around. Okay. I like who they. I like how they made fun of how empty Beacon looked, and Beacon was in early RWBY. I also like how Kilgore transforms and it looks like the render cubes from the earlier volumes. I think that was intentional because they make similar jokes in RWBY Chibi about that, like the shadow people. Okay, RWBY has more about the characters, I think. Yeah, this part's about the characters. RWBY has her cross pins from early volume 1. A lot of later Beacon era spin-offs do this. I like that as part of her character design because it makes her look less generic sometimes, because sometimes she can look generic. Okay, yeah. Weiss being a technical savvy smarty pants, like in her subplot with Bruce, was is something they need to do more in the main show. She is not just a rich girl, she is smart. Everyone makes weapons and technology to fight evil monsters in RWBY. She should be there instead of, like, there's some fights where she seems helpless, and everyone knows she's the weakest team member in the canon, so, yeah. Okay, yeah. Need to make her more unique, blah blah blah, I just said it. Okay. Yang fighting looks the best it ever has. It ever has in any RWBY media. Yes, it does. It's so cool. Her pausing and winking in midair. Reminds me of a certain webcomic character, comic magic user I've mentioned would be a good death battle / versus fight idea for Yang. That's gonna happen someday. I might make a video about how it's going to be hinted at in DB, but this isn't about that, so. Yeah, I've mentioned that for a while. This is the voice actors. This is about the voice actors. This and then some miscellaneous thoughts are the final section. I did not mean to be overly critical, and I apologize if anyone sees this and I mispronounced their names, or I wrote them down wrong and thus mispronounced them because there's different letters there. Okay, yeah. Chandler Riggs is Superman, and he sounds like he's trying a bit too hard to be encouraging, but that's fine for a younger version of Superman, which he technically is in this. Plus, his delivery of the inspiring speech at the end was very good. Drew Valentino is very good as Cyborg. I'd say he's almost as good as Carrie Payton's portrayal, the guy that does him in Teen Titans and a few other things. He also doesn't sound like Cuphead at all. He is the Cuphead in the Cuphead show. I'm going to close the door right now and continue my speech here. For no apparent reason except that I need to. Natalie Ann Ling is a great Wonder Woman. She sounds like this may be incorrect, but she sounds like she's trying to imitate Laura Bailey, who voices Wonder Woman in Part 2 and a few other DC Comics things. David Ergo Jr., I know he did some voice in Death Battle, I forgot what. He is good as the Flash. He's an up-and-coming voice actor, and he's in many popular things. Jeannie Tarino was good as Green Lantern Jessica Cruz. I know a little bit about Jessica Cruz. I've seen the DC Superhero Girls cartoon, and I've read some comics with her in it. She's, for you don't know about her, she does female Violet's voice in Smash Brothers. Now, I'm probably going to pronounce this name Ozama well, we're not her, she was good as Mari. I don't know much about her. And hold on, it looks like I'm missing a page where I misplaced one. Let's pause on this squirrel while I get out my book of papers, and I can tell you what was on it if it's not missing. Okay, I found it. Other stuff, I liked how the angry scribbles were in a thought bubble instead of just above the head like in the earlier volume. Well, that's it. I like this. I thought it was good. It was entertaining. I will be watching part 2 relatively soon. And hopefully it won't take another month and a half to make a review of this. Month or 2 months. But hey, there was a lot of info there. So, did you watch this movie? Did you think it was mid? Did you actually enjoy it? Do you like DC Comics? Do you like RWBY? Do you like either or both of these things and have no idea what was going on? I feel like I left out a thing about how I liked how Bumblebee was portrayed in this, because I really liked how that was portrayed. Well, anyway, that's this for now. See you later.